Happy 4th of July, everyone. This is America's 250th anniversary of our great nation being a country. And I think all of us can be very grateful and thankful and proud to be Americans. But I thought I would talk through some of the issues that we're all facing together. Just think, America was founded by brave men, colonists, who were so angry at the King of England and his army over the taxes that were being levied against them and the fact that they had no representation for themselves over in the home country of England, that they waged an entire revolution against the king and his army, declaring their independence, and started our United States of America. That started with 13 colonies, and I think those men were fantastic. So let's fast forward 250 years to today and talk about the taxes that we're facing today as Americans. It's not anything like that, just 3 cents on tea. Okay, we pay federal income taxes. That varies depending on your income level. Top income levels are up at 37%. Lower income levels are closer to 11%. Then you pay state income taxes, or you may not, depending on the state you're in, but most states you pay income taxes. You also have local income taxes with your cities and your counties. Don't forget about FICA. That's called a flat payroll tax. That's at a total of 12.4% that you split between you and your employer. But guess what? If you're self-employed, you pay that big whopping 12.4% yourself. So if you're not self-employed, that's 6.2% individual, and that's for your Social Security that, guess what, by the way, is going to be bankrupt by 2032. So you may never even see a Social Security check, even though you've been paying in your entire adult working life. You also pay, there is also a total payment of 2.9% for Medicare coming out of your paycheck. It's 1.45% individual, but you share that burden with your employer for the whole whopping 2.9%. You also pay capital gains taxes, federal and state. Those are taxes that are applied to profits made when you sell something like real estate or, I don't know, stocks maybe. But you get taxed for the profit that you make. Also, there's unemployment taxes. Those are paid by employers. Then let's talk about the taxes you pay when you buy something. Sales tax, state and local. Excise tax, they call that a sin tax. Those are taxes you pay on alcohol, tobacco, but then for some reason you also pay these excise taxes on airline tickets and gasoline. I don't think it's a sin to buy airline tickets or pay for gas or buy gas. There's also custom duties, which are tariffs on imported goods. Those are President Trump's favorite as of lately. And then you get taxed on what you own. So not only do you pay taxes when you buy it, you also pay taxes when you own it. You pay real estate property taxes, like for local and state taxes. You pay personal property taxes, like on boats and planes and motor vehicles. You also pay estate and gift taxes. You pay taxes when you die, and you pay taxes if you try to be nice and give somebody money. It's insane. But don't forget, there's other fees and surcharges and more taxes. You pay taxes on your vehicle registration, licensing fees, tag taxes. You pay toll taxes when you drive on a toll road, highway, or bridge. You also pay taxes on utility and communications. Those are localized fees included in monthly cell phone bills, electricity, and water bills. You get taxed just to talk. Maybe the only things that we aren't taxed on is the air that we breathe, but give them a little more time and they'll definitely be taxing you on that as well. So now that I've told you how much taxes you pay, I think you already know because you're the one paying them. Let's talk about how much money the government has. The federal government is projected to receive $5.6 trillion this year. That's a lot of money, right? Well, guess what? The federal government is going to spend a projected $7.35 trillion. So they are way over budget. leading us to today we are $39.5 trillion in debt as a nation. That's all of us together. We aren't divided by color, religion, or politics or any other way. All of us together are in debt at $39.5 trillion, and it matters. I know it's not something you see every day, but it is affecting you every single day. Let me tell you how. The national debt exceeds the size of the U.S. economy, with a debt to GDP ratio of 125% and growing. Every single American citizen is in debt alone by yourself, $115,000. So every baby born today is born into a citizenship that has them already in debt at $115,000. It's outrageous. The annual interest on our debt, guess what? It's not just the money we've spent that has us in debt. We also pay interest on our debt. This year, it's around $1.2 trillion, but it's growing very rapidly because this is compounding interest. That means the debt grows bigger and bigger every year, and the interest we pay on our debt grows bigger and bigger and bigger every year. It's getting to the point where it's completely out of control. Now, how does that affect you personally? Well, let me tell you, it affects you very personally as it affects your dollar, the very dollar that you work hard to earn, the dollars that you save in your checking account and your savings account, and the dollars that you use to live your every single daily life. So the U.S. national debt has resulted in a drastic decrease in the dollar's domestic purchasing power. That means the value of the dollar has gone down so much you can't buy near the amount of goods and services that you could have bought even 100 years ago. A dollar today is only worth a fraction of what it was just a century ago. Let me put it to you like this. Today, $100 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $2,600 back in 1800, meaning the dollar has lost roughly 96.2% of its value. That's what our national debt has done to us as Americans. That's what the careless irresponsibility of our government leaders have done to us as Americans. And you want to know something? This is Democrats and Republicans together have done it. You can't blame one party or the other. They do it together, and I know because I served in Congress and watched them do it together. Talk together, meet together, join together, and agree on a budget that they would pass. That's why I couldn't vote for these budgets. Let me tell you this. Recently, okay, we talked about the value of the dollars back in the 1800s, but even recently, a value of $100 in the year 2000 was equal to $186. So just in the past 26 years, we've lost $86 right there. So it just continues to decline, and it's going to get worse and worse. So when you hear wonky, nerdy things and people talking about like, oh, the national debt is coming up on $40 trillion, and you don't think that matters to you, it does matter to you. It matters to you directly and very personally because it affects how you're able to live your life. So you see, a long time ago, people could afford a much more luxurious life. They could afford nicer homes, nicer cars, nicer clothes, nicer vacations, all types of things, because the value of the dollar went a lot further because our national debt was so much lower. So not only are you taxed in every single way, shape, and form on how you live your life, whether it's your income, what you buy, fees and tolls, and all types of service charges, you also are taxed when you die. Of course, they tax you when you die, and then they tax your family members when you inherit money. But your dollar, your own dollar, is being degraded into nothing. So yes, America is great. And yes, we do have freedoms. But how free are we really? Let's really talk about that. Now, for example, What happens to you if you don't pay your property taxes? Guess what? They're going to come and take your house away. Well, let's talk about what if you love your house and you're paying your property taxes, but then some big corporation decides that they need your land for their purposes so that a data center can be built in your county. Well, you know what? They're going to use a law called eminent domain and take away your home, even though you own it, and pay your property taxes because they've decided they need that land. That doesn't sound like freedom. Or what about this one? What if you complain about the current narrative that you're being fed on the news and by your politicians, and you're complaining on your social media and saying things they don't want you to say? Well, what happens to you? You get censored and you get deleted and you get totally shadow banned, or your accounts get completely closed. That happened during COVID, but it's also happening now if you talk about a certain country or you talk about the oligarchy. You get shadow banned and censored as well. When you say the wrong thing, you will get canceled. Doesn't sound like freedom of speech to me. Not only that, but in addition to all the taxes we pay and the freedoms that we supposedly have, but we're not really sure if we have them, we also pay all kinds of other ridiculous things. We're forced to pay high prices for car insurance and house insurance, and health insurance is a complete and total scam. In America, we have a two-party system. You can vote for Democrats or you can vote for Republicans. Occasionally you get an independent on your ballot, a libertarian, a Green Party candidate, or some other type of candidate. These third-party candidates hardly ever win. But it's time to be realistic about the two-party system, the establishment. Is it really working out for us? Do you think this is really serving America's self-interest? Is it helping us prosper as a nation? Is this two-party system helping your dollar be strong and helping you survive and helping you to be able to provide for your family, save your money for retirement? I don't think it is. As a matter of fact, I think the two-party system in America is a complete and total disaster and an utter failure. It's very simple for me. When I look at nearly $40 trillion in debt, even though we get taxed on literally everything we do, I can't see how that's helping. And the value of our dollar has gone down to nothing. You know what the two-party system has done to us as Americans? It's done the one thing that we always say we don't want to happen. What do we always say? We say, united we stand and divided we fall. But the two-party system has divided Americans to the point where many Americans hate each other. Families have been broken up. Neighbors have gotten into fights. People have been fired from their jobs for the way that they vote. And this is outrageous. The two-party system does this on purpose. It's the political industrial complex that is designed to feed you a narrative from each side so that you see each other as the enemy. It's like team sports. You either wear a blue jersey or a red jersey and you hate each other and constantly fight each other, and you think that you have to vote with your team so that you can stop the other team because they're the greatest enemy that you think you have. But it's all a lie. It's really the two-party system that's the enemy, because it's the two-party system that has enslaved us in debt. It's a two-party system that taxes you to death. And it's a two-party system that has destroyed the value of our dollar to the point where a family can't survive on a single income. And if you're a single mother, you can hardly survive yourself. Young Americans today look to the future and don't know if they'll ever be able to own a home. And most Americans don't have savings in their bank accounts for their retirement. And guess what? You're not going to get a Social Security check either because it's going to be bankrupt in just a few years. So if there's anything that Americans should be talking about with each other, that's how to defeat the two-party system. Because the two-party system, after 250 years in America, has failed America. Now, I think as Americans, we have a lot to be happy about. We have a great culture, great celebrations, great music, great sports, great traditions, so much so that we've watched people coming to America for the FIFA games, and they love our country and have been putting out videos about it. That's been really fun to watch. Now, I know I'll be celebrating with my family and friends on the 4th of July, celebrating our 250 years, but I'm also looking forward to a future where we can defeat the two-party system, rein our government in because it's more out of control than a British king was years and years ago. As a matter of fact, a political revolution is much needed in this country, and I hope I get to see one happen. This Independence Day, let's celebrate something that matters, freedom. And that's the freedom to make your own healthcare decisions. Our friends at All Family Pharmacy are celebrating with one of their biggest sales of the year. Now through July 7th, buy one, get one free on ivermectin capsules, mebendazole capsules, ivermectin and mebendazole combination capsules, ivermectin cream, and hydroxychloroquine. Whatever quantity you order, they'll double it free. Just use coupon code BOG026 at checkout. The process is simple. Complete a quick online medical form, a licensed physician reviews your request, and, if appropriate, provides a prescription. Then your medications are shipped directly to your door. If you've been thinking about getting prepared while saving money, now is the time. But don't forget, this Independence Day sale ends July 7th. Visit allfamilypharmacy.com/MTG. Use coupon code BOG026 and take advantage of this limited buy one, get one free offer.